Let us discuss about the classification of armature winding. So we have a mainly two type of armature winding. That is the, if we classify it according to the layer of the winding, it is classified into the single layer winding and double layer winding. Okay, so how can we define that it is a single layer winding or double layer winding? So single layer winding is that winding in which one conductor or coil side is placed in each armature slot. Okay, so we have number of slots on armature core. Okay, and in armature core, if we place one conductor or one coil side in each and every slot, that means slot number 1 there is a one conductor, slot number 2 there is a one conductor, slot number 3 there is a one conductor. So we can say that in each and every armature slot we have a one conductor or one coil side. So this type of winding is known as a single layer winding. There is only one layer of winding in each slot. That's why the name given is the single layer winding. Okay, this type of winding is rarely used. It is not used, most preferable winding, so it is rarely used. This is the single layer winding. Now double layer winding, so from its name we can say that double layer winding, that means there are two layer of winding. Okay, so when two conductor or coil sides are placed in each armature slot, it is known as double layer winding. Okay, so if we assume that we have number one slot, so in number one slot we have a two conductor, in number two armature slot we have a two conductor, in armature 3 slot we have a two conductor. So in each and every armature slot we have a two conductor or two coil sides. Okay, so we can say that this winding is the double layer winding. Okay, two layer of winding, that is we can say that the two conductor or two coil sides are placed in each and every armature slot. Okay, so it is known as a double layer winding. One side of each coil lies in upper half of one slot and other side lies in the lower half of some other slot at a distance of approximately one pole pitch away. Okay, so suppose the one coil side of a conductor is placed in upper half of one slot. Okay, so what we are assuming that we have a number one slot. Okay, in number one slot, okay, in number one slot, in upper half of the slot we have placed one coil side. Okay, then the other coil side of the same conductor is placed in the lower half of some other slot. And what is the distance between two slots? The distance between two slots is the one pole pitch approximately. Okay, so if the in number one slot in upper portion one coil side is placed, then from first slot to 180-degree, or we can say that one pole pitch away, there is another slot, and in this slot the other coil side is placed in lower portion. Okay, in this manner the winding is wound in the armature slot. Understood? How can we wound the double layer winding? If first number slot in upper portion, if we placed one coil side of the conductor, then the second coil side of a same conductor is placed in the lower half of the other slot, and this slot is available at one pole pitch away from the first slot. Okay, in this manner we can wound the double layer winding. Another classification, that is the concentrated winding and a distributed winding. Okay, so in concentrated winding, in concentrated winding, when all the conductors per phase per pole are concentrated or bunched in one slot, the winding is known as concentrated winding. It is used where number of slots are less. Okay, this type of winding we are using when there are less number of slots available. Okay, so concentrated winding, that means all conductors or all the winding is placed in only one slot. That means all windings or all conductors are concentrated in any one slot. Okay, that's why the winding is known as the concentrated winding. Okay, एक ही स्लॉट्स में अगर पूरे का पूरा वाइंडिंग और सभी कंडक्टर को आप प्लेस करते हैं तो उसको क्या बोलते हैं, कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड वाइंडिंग. ओके, क्यों यूज करते हैं, क्योंकि जहां पे स्लॉट्स कम होते हैं उसमें हम कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड वाइंडिंग यूज कर सकते हैं. नेक्स्ट क्लासिफिकेशन, दैट इज द डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड वाइंडिंग. When number of conductor per phase per pole is high, they are to be placed in more than one slot. Okay, now what is the, when the conductors are very high, number of conductors are very high, we cannot place it in any one slot. Okay, so for that we have to place it in more than one slots. Okay, and this type of winding is known as the distributed winding. That means the whole winding or all the number of conductors are distributed in each and every slot. Suppose there are 16 number of slots, so in all 16 number of slots the armature conductor or armature winding is distributed equally. So this type of winding is known as the distributed winding, जहां पे कंडक्टर की संख्या, नंबर ऑफ कंडक्टर्स ज्यादा होते हैं, वहां हम क्या करते हैं, उस वाइंडिंग और कंडक्टर को एक स्लॉट में प्लेस नहीं करते, उसको हम सभी स्लॉट जितने अवेलेबल है स्लॉट्स और सभी में हम डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर देते हैं, तो उस वाइंडिंग को हम डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड वाइंडिंग कहते हैं. ओके, द कंडक्टर्स इन डिफरेंट स्लॉट्स अंडर सेम पोल आर कनेक्टेड इन सीरीज टू गेट मोर वोल्टेज. ओके, सो जितने भी कंडक्टर है, ओके, तो जो जिस स्लॉट में कंडक्टर्स अवेलेबल है वो सभी स्लॉट्स अगर सेम पोल में आते हैं तो सभी कंडक्टर सीरीज में कनेक्ट होंगे और सीरीज में कनेक्शन होने की वजह से हमको आउट वोल्टेज जो है वो ज्यादा मिलता है. सो द कंडक्टर्स इन डिफरेंट स्लॉट्स. ओके, एक पोल के अंदर में जितने स्लॉट्स है उस स्लॉट में जितने भी कंडक्टर है वो सभी सीरीज में कनेक्ट होंगे, उससे क्या होता है, जो वोल्टेज है वो हमको ज्यादा मिलेगा. In this case, EMF induced in coil sides of same phase in adjacent slots under one pole are not in phase but displaced by an angle equal to angular displacement of the slots. अब क्या करेंगे, जो आर्मेचर कोर है वो सर्कुलर शेप में है. ओके, सो जो भी कॉइल साइड से वो सेम फेज की एडजेसेंट स्लॉट्स के अंदर एक पोल में नहीं आएगी, तो उसको क्या करेंगे, उसका जो एंगल है वो एंगुलर डिस्प्लेसमेंट बीच में आएगा. सो द ईएमएफ जो इंड्यूस्ड होगा कॉइल साइड्स में, एक फेज सेम फेज की हम बात करें, सेम फेज एक पोल में सेम फेज में जितने भी स्लॉट्स है उस स्लॉट्स की जो कॉइल साइड से उसमें जो ईएमएफ इंड्यूस्ड होगा वो इन फेज नहीं होगा, बट उसमें क्या होगा, जो स्लॉट्स का जो एंगल है, क्योंकि वो सर्कुलर शेप में है आर्मेचर कोर. ओके, सो आर्मेचर कोर सर्कुलर शेप में है, दैट मींस देयर इज अ डिस्टेंस बिटवीन एनी टू स्लॉट्स, एंगुलर डिस्टेंस, और वी कैन से दैट इज द एंगुलर डिस्प्लेसमेंट और एंगल. ओके, सो जो ईएमएफ इंड्यूस होगा जो भी कॉइल साइड स्लॉट्स में रखी है वो क्या होगा, वो एंगुलर डिस्प्लेसमेंट के इक्वल होगा, जो स्लॉट्स का जो एंगुलर डिस्प्लेसमेंट है. तो डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड वाइंडिंग में जो है वो एंगुलर डिस्प्लेसमेंट बीच में आएगा. ओके, सो डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड वाइंडिंग जो है वो, डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड वाइंडिंग का एडवांटेज क्या मिलता है. सो फर्स्ट इज द बेटर यूटिलाइजेशन ऑफ स्टेटर कोर. As we already discussed that in distributed winding, the whole armature winding or whole number of conductors are distributed in each and every स्टेटर कोर। ओके, सो क्या होगा उसमें जो स्टेटर कोर है उसका यूटिलाइजेशन बेटर होगा। सो वी कैन यूटिलाइज अ स्टेटर कोर बेटर, बिकॉज क्या होगा जो आर्मेचर कोर है और वी कैन से दैट आर्मेचर वाइंडिंग है वो पूरे के पूरे आर्मेचर स्लॉट्स में डिस्ट्रीब्यूट होगी। सो वी कैन से दैट द स्टेटर कोर इज बेटर यूटिलाइज्ड। इट रिड्यूसेस अमाउंट ऑफ कॉपर यूज्ड इन एंड कनेक्शन। जो वाइंडिंग का एंड कनेक्शन होता है उसमें जो कॉपर यूज्ड होता है वो भी रिड्यूस्ड होगा। ओके, इट गिव्स बेटर वेव शेप एंड रिड्यूसेस हार्मोनिक्स। जो हार्मोनिक्स जनरेट होता है वो भी डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड वाइंडिंग में कम होगा और उसका जो वेव शेप है वो भी बेटर होगा। ओके, और जो डिसएडवांटेजेस है वो क्या मिलेगा डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड वाइंडिंग में? डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड वाइंडिंग का जो डिसएडवांटेज है वो है इट जनरेट्स लेस वोल्टेज because it is the phasor summation of EMF induced in each and every coil sides. Okay, so उसमें जो voltage होगा वो less generate होगा. So this is the disadvantage of distributed winding. Now next is the distribution factor. Okay, so if all the coil sides of any one phase under one pole are bunched in one slot, the winding obtained is known as concentrated winding, and total EMF induced is equal to arithmetic sum of the EMF induced in all the coils of one phase under the one pole. So इसमें क्या होगा जो concentrated winding, so in concentrated winding जितने भी आर्मेचर कंडक्टर है और जितने भी कंडक्टर और कॉइल साइड से उसमें जो ईएमएफ इंड्यूस्ड होगा उस ईएमएफ का जो रिजल्टेंट ईएमएफ मिलेगा वो क्या होगा? द रिजल्टेंट ईएमएफ इज द अरिथमेटिक सम ऑफ ईएमएफ इंड्यूस्ड इन ऑल द कॉइल्स। ओके, सपोज फर्स्ट कॉइल में ईएमएफ इंड्यूस हुआ वो E1 है, सेकंड में E2 है, थर्ड में E3 है, तो कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड वाइंडिंग में जो टोटल ईएमएफ होगा वो कितना होगा? That is the arithmetic sum of EMF induced in all coils. That means resultant EMF is ER is equal to E1 plus E2 plus E3. That is the arithmetic sum of EMF induced in all coil sides. Okay. अब डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड वाइंडिंग में क्या होगा? डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड वाइंडिंग में क्या होता है कि जो वाइंडिंग है वो ईच एंड एवरी स्लॉट्स में डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किया गया है। ओके, तो हर स्लॉट के बीच में एक एंगुलर डिस्प्लेसमेंट आ जाएगा, उससे क्या होगा वो ईएमएफ में भी वो एंगुलर डिस्प्लेसमेंट आएगा। ओके, सो ईएमएफ जो इंड्यूस्ड होता है वो the induced EMF per coil are not an angle equal to the angular displacement of the slot. So the resultant EMF क्या होगा? तो डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड वाइंडिंग में क्या होगा? हर स्लॉट के बीच में एंगल आएगा। ओके, सो एंगल आने की वजह से उसमें एंगुलर डिस्प्लेसमेंट आ जाएगा। सो द रिजल्टेंट ईएमएफ हम कैसे फाइंड करेंगे उसमें? सो द रिजल्टेंट ईएमएफ इज द फेजर सम ऑफ इंड्यूस्ड ईएमएफ पर कॉइल साइड्स। सपोज एक कॉइल में E1 ईएमएफ इंड्यूस होता है, दूसरी में E2, तीसरी में E3, तो ये जो ईएमएफ इंड्यूस होता है हर कॉइल में, वो हर कॉइल में जो ईएमएफ इंड्यूस होता है उसका हम फेजर सम करेंगे तो हमको रिजल्टेंट ईएमएफ मिलेगा। एज इट इज द फेजर सम इट मस्ट बी लेस देन द अरिथमेटिक सम। ओके, फेजर सम जो होगा वो अरिथमेटिक सम से लेस मिलेगा। दैट मींस इन कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड वाइंडिंग में हमको जो रिजल्टेंट ईएमएफ मिलता है वो रिजल्टेंट ईएमएफ अरिथमेटिक समेशन है, whereas in distributed winding जो रिजल्टेंट ईएमएफ मिलता है वो फेजर समेशन है। सो डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड वाइंडिंग का जो रिजल्टेंट ईएमएफ है वो कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड वाइंडिंग का रिजल्टेंट ईएमएफ से कम होगा। सो फेजर समेशन इज ऑलवेज लेस देन द अरिथमेटिक समेशन। ओके, सो डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड वाइंडिंग और वी कैन से दैट द डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन फैक्टर। सो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन फैक्टर क्या है? So it is expressed as the ratio of the phasor sum of EMF induced in all coils distributed in a number of slots under one pole to the arithmetic sum of the EMF induced. Okay, so phasor summation of EMF divided by arithmetic summation of EMF.
हेलो सर सर वॉइस नहीं आ तो
Okay, so on each and every coil side, the bisector is drawn. So this bisector makes the two equal part of this coil. So this portion and this portion both are equal in magnitude. Likewise here this portion and this portion. Okay, so all this bisector will meet at this common point O. Okay, now this AB is the resultant EMF, that is the ER. Okay, this AB is the resultant EMF, that is ER. Okay, now if we draw one bisector on this AB, then it will also meet at this common point. Okay, now in between this coil side, okay, we have an angle beta, and if we combine all these m number of conductor, then the total angle becomes m beta. Okay, so now this bisector is drawn on this AC coil side, so this beta angle is divided into two part, that is the beta by 2 and beta by 2. Likewise same here on AB, one bisector is drawn, so this m beta angle is divided into two part, that is the this half portion is the m beta by 2 and another half portion is the m beta by 2. Okay, now the angular displacement between the slot, that is angle beta. So beta is equal to 180 divided by n. This is the one formula you have to keep in mind, that angular displacement between the slots, beta is equal to 180 divided by n. Okay, now what happens, the EMF induced in each coil side, okay, that is the E is equal to AC is equal to twice OA sine beta by 2. Okay, now here this is the AC coil side, so EMF induced in this AC coil side. Okay, now the angle is beta. Now this AC is equal to this portion and this portion. Okay, so we can say that it is, here we can write that it is K. Okay, so AK plus KC is equal to AC due to this bisector. Okay, so AC is equal to E is equal to AK plus KC. Now here is the angle beta. Okay, so how can we make the formula beta by 2? Here is the angle beta by 2. So sine beta by 2, sine beta by 2 is equal to AK, that is AK. Okay, this is the AK portion and this is the OA portion. So sine beta by 2 is equal to AK divided by OA. AK divided by OA. So AK is equal to OA sine beta by 2. AK is equal to OA sine beta by 2. Likewise same, KC is equal to AK. So AK is equal to KC is equal to OA sine beta by 2. Okay, so now what is AC? AC is equal to AK plus KC. So AK is equal to OA sine by beta by 2 plus KC is equal to OA sine beta by 2. So it becomes twice OA sine beta by 2. So AC is equal to twice OA sine beta by 2. Okay, that is the EMF induced in each coil. So AC is the one coil, CD is the another coil, D is the another coil, and we assume that we have a M number of conductor. Okay, so total arithmetic sum, that is the M multiplied by twice OA sine by beta by 2. So the arithmetic sum of induced EMF, arithmetic sum of induced EMF is equal to, we have M number of conductors, so multiplied M to this formula, so it is M multiplied by twice OA sine beta by 2. This is the arithmetic sum. Now for resultant EMF, okay, look at this image. This is the resultant EMF AB. Now we have drawn one bisector on this AB. So what happened? Here we assume that it is the L. This point is L. So what we can write, AB is equal to AL plus LB. Okay, AB is equal to AL plus LB. Now what is the value of AL? Here is the angle m beta by 2. This is the angle m beta by 2. So what happens? Sine m beta by 2 is equal to AL divided by OA. Sine m beta by 2 is equal to AL divided by OA. Likewise, LB is also, what is LB is equal to? So this AB is equal to AL plus LB, and AL is equal to LB. That means AB is equal to AL plus LB is equal to OA sine m beta by 2. Okay, so AB is equal to twice OA sine m beta by 2. This is the resultant EMF. AB is the resultant EMF and it is equal to twice OA sine m beta by 2. And this is the phasor summation. Okay, so according to the formula of distribution factor KD is equal to phasor sum of EMF divided by arithmetic sum of EMF. Okay, so now what is the phasor sum? Phasor sum is equal to twice OA sine m beta by 2, and arithmetic sum is equal to twice m OA sine beta by 2. Okay, so it is equal to twice OA sine m beta by 2 divided by m multiplied by twice OA sine beta by 2. Okay, so 2 is cancelled. Okay, so what happens? It is sine, this OA is also cancelled. So it is sine m beta by 2 divided by m sine beta by 2. Okay, and m beta is also known as the phase spread angle, that is in electrical degree. Okay, so the distribution factor KD is equal to sine m beta by 2 divided by m sine beta by 2. And beta, what is the equation of beta? This is the beta is equal to 180 divided by n. And what is n? N is the number of slots per pole, whereas m is equal to number of slot per pole per phase. So this is the distribution factor KD. Now the some other terms related to the armature winding, that is the pole pitch. First is the pole pitch. So what is the definition of pole pitch? The distance between two adjacent poles is known as pole pitch. Okay, suppose we assume that we have a two pole machine. Okay, so in two pole machine we have N pole magnet and S pole magnet. So the angle between these two poles, okay, that is known as the one pole pitch. So for two pole machines, the pole pitch is 180. Okay, if there is a four pole machine, okay, so in four pole machine, the pole pitch is the 90 degree. So pole pitch is the distance between two adjacent pole. Okay, and two pole it is 180 degree, four pole it is 90 degree. Next is the coil span. The distance between two coil sides of a coil is known as a coil span. Okay, each and every coil has two coil sides. Okay, and the distance between these two coil sides of a coil is known as a coil span. That means the span between two coil sides. In simple words, what is the coil span? That is the span available between two coil sides of a same coil, not the different coil. Each coil has two coil sides, okay, and whatever span available between these two coil side, that is the coil span. It is also measured in angle or number of slots. Okay, so we can represent this coil side into angle, that is whether it is a 20-degree angle or 10-degree angle, or we can also represent it in number of slots, whether it is of 10 slots or 15 slots or 20 slots. So in this manner we can represent the coil span. Okay, next is the full pitch winding. Okay, so if We already discussed the pole pitch and coil span. Now this full pitch winding and short pitch winding depends on these two factors, that is the pole pitch and coil span. Okay, so what is the full pitch winding? If the coil span of a coil is exactly equal to the pole pitch, the winding or coil is known as the full pitch winding. Okay, here look at this image. Okay, so here what happens, the coil span is 180 degree. Okay, and for two pole machine the pole pitch is also 180 degree. That means here the coil span becomes equal to the pole pitch. So whenever the coil span becomes equal to the pole pitch, the winding is known as the full pitch winding. Okay, so here is the A, B, C, D, E. This winding is known as the full pitch winding. Here A, B, C, D, E. This winding is the full pitch winding. Okay, now next is the short pitch winding. So here what happens, in full pitch winding coil span is exactly equal to the pole pitch, but in short pitch winding coil span is always lesser than the pole pitch. Okay, so the winding in which coil span is lesser than the pole pitch, this winding is known as the short pitch winding. Okay, look at this image. Okay, so this is the coil span. Okay, and pole pitch is this. So coil span is 180 degree minus alpha, and this alpha is the short pitch angle. So this winding is short by alpha angle. So the actual coil span is 180 degree minus alpha. So this coil span is lesser than the pole pitch. That's why this winding is known as the short pitch winding. Okay, it is also known as the fractional pitch winding. So here it is A, B, F, G and H. This winding is known as the short pitch winding. Understand the difference between full pitch winding and short pitch winding? In full pitch winding, coil span is equal to pole pitch. But in short pitch winding, coil span is always less than the pole pitch. Now what is the advantages of the of using the short pitch winding? Okay, so in short pitch winding what happens, the length is reduced, winding length is reduced. That means we can say that the copper is saved. So we can save the copper if the short pitch winding is used. Distorting harmonics are also reduced. So waveform of generated EMF becomes sinusoidal. This is the one another advantage, that in short pitch winding the harmonics are reduced. Okay, so harmonics are reduced, that means the waveform of generated EMF also becomes sinusoidal. Okay, here what happens, due to the harmonics are eliminated. So harmonics are eliminated, that means the eddy current and hysteresis losses are also reduced, which will increase the efficiency. Okay, so which are the advantages? Copper is saved, so we can save the copper. Harmonics are reduced. That means the generated EMF waveform becomes sinusoidal. Eddy current losses and hysteresis losses are also reduced, so we can increase the efficiency. These are the advantages we are getting while using the short pitch winding. Now each and everything has advantages as well as disadvantages. Okay, so this short pitch winding also have some disadvantage. Okay, so what is the disadvantage of the short pitch winding? Generally we can say that the length in short pitch winding reduces. Okay, so length reduces, that means we can say that number of turns reduces. Okay, length in terms of turns. Okay, so length reduces, or we can say that the number of turns reduces. So number of turns reduces, that means EMF induced is also reduced. Okay, because the EMF induced also depends on number of turns. Okay, and length reduces, so we can say that it is in the terms of turns. So we can say that number of turns reduces, and number of turns reduces, that means EMF induced is also reduces, because the EMF induced in the winding depends on number of turns. So number of turns reduces, that means EMF induced is reduced. Okay. And the EMF induced in these two coil sides are out of phase, so vector sum is always less than the arithmetic sum. Okay, that's why whatever EMF we are getting in the short pitch winding is always less. Now next is the coil span factor. So this coil span factor, look at this image. So we assume that we have a two EMF, OA and AB. Okay, so when this OA and AB are there, so OA coil side EMF is induced, in AB coil side the EMF is induced. Okay, so how can we find the coil span factor of these two coil sides? Okay, so first of all, this coil span factor is related with the full pitch coil and short pitch coil, whereas distribution factor is related with concentrated winding and distributed winding. Okay, this is the difference between distribution factor and coil span factor. Distribution factor is related with concentrated winding and distributed winding, whereas coil span factor is related with full pitch winding and short pitch winding. Okay. Okay, so now what we assume, that we assume two coil sides, each coil sides the EMF induced is E. Okay, so first we assume that a full pitch coil. Okay, so in full pitch coil the induced EMF in each coil side help each other. That means there is a arithmetic sum between these two. Okay, so the resultant EMF induced is the algebraic sum. So we can say that ER is equal to EMF induced in one coil side plus EMF induced in the second coil side. So it becomes twice E, because we are assuming that E be the induced EMF in each coil side. Okay, so when the winding is full pitch, at that time the resultant EMF induced in each and every coil side will be the algebraic sum. So ER is equal to E plus E is equal to twice E for full pitch winding. Okay, now we assume that the winding is the short pitch winding. Okay, so coil is short by an angle alpha. Okay, here look at this. Okay, this is the short pitch angle alpha. So in OA coil side EMF induced is E. In AB coil side the EMF induced is E. But this AB coil is short by some angle alpha. Okay, so what happens? These two coil side OA and AB coil side no longer remains in phase. Okay, so in these two coil side are out of phase with each other. It is not in phase. Okay, so it is out of phase with each other. That means we cannot do the arithmetic sum. Okay, and to find the resultant EMF of this coil, we have to take the phasor summation. Okay, so here OA is the one coil side, AB is the one coil side. Now connect this OA and AB terminal. Okay, so it is the OB and this is the resultant EMF. Okay, OB is the resultant EMF. Here is the angle alpha. Okay, now draw one bisector on this OB. Okay, so this OB is divided into two parts, that is the OC and CB. Okay, Now here is the angle alpha, that means this angle becomes alpha by 2. Okay. Now what we have to find? We have to find the resultant EMF ER, that is the OB. Okay, so OB is equal to OC plus CB, and OC and CB both are same because this is the bisector, that means OC and CB both are equal. So we can write that OB is equal to OC plus CB is equal to twice OC. So OB is equal to twice OC. Now we have to find the value of this OC. So how can we find the OC? That is, here is the angle alpha by 2. So cos alpha by 2. Cos alpha by 2 is equal to OC divided by OA. Cos alpha by 2. Cos alpha by 2 कैसे लिखेंगे हम? Cos alpha by 2 में क्या होगा? उसके पास की जो बाजू है वो और ये बाजू. Okay, so cos alpha by 2 is equal to OC divided by OA. Okay, so what we can write, OC is equal to OA cos alpha by 2. Okay, क्या हुआ इसमें? This OC cos alpha by 2 is equal to OC divided by OA. So OC is equal to OA cos alpha by 2. Okay, understood. Now what? OB is equal to OC plus CB, and CB and OC are same. So OB is equal to twice OC. So OB is equal to ER is equal to twice OC is equal to twice OA cos alpha by 2. Twice OA cos alpha by 2, and OA is the E, induced EMF. So it is resultant EMF is equal to twice E cos alpha by 2 for short pitch winding. So resultant EMF in short pitch winding ER is equal to twice E cos alpha by 2. Okay, now that according to the definition of coil span factor is the resultant EMF of short pitch winding and resultant EMF induced in the full pitch winding. Okay, so coil span factor Kc or Kp, it is represented by Kc or Kp. Okay, so according to the definition, coil span factor is the ratio of resultant EMF when coil is short pitch to the resultant EMF when coil is full pitch. Okay, so Kc or Kp is equal to resultant EMF in short pitch winding divided by resultant EMF in full pitch winding. Okay, so what is the resultant EMF in short pitch winding? That is the twice E cos alpha by 2 that we have already derived. Now divided by the resultant EMF in full pitch winding. So resultant EMF in full pitch winding is twice E. So twice E is cancelled. So what remains? That is Kc is equal to cos alpha by 2, where alpha is the angle of short pitch. Okay, so coil span factor Kc is equal to cos alpha by 2. This is the formula of coil span factor. Okay, so today we discuss about the classification of armature winding, that is single layer winding, double layer winding, concentrated winding, distributed winding, then the advantages of distributed winding, then distribution factor Kd is equal to EMF induced in distributed winding divided by EMF induced in concentrated winding, or Kd is equal to phasor sum of EMF divided by arithmetic sum of EMF. So we can say that distribution factor is related with distributed winding and concentrated winding. Okay, then we derived the formula of distribution factor. Kd is equal to sin m beta by 2 upon m sin beta by 2. Then the terms related to armature winding: pole pitch, distance between two adjacent pole; coil span, distance between two coil sides of a coil, both are measured in angle or number of slots; Then full pitch winding, when coil span is equal to pole pitch, it is full pitch winding. When coil span is less than the pole pitch, it is short pitch winding. Then advantages and disadvantages of short pitch winding. Then the coil span factor. Coil span factor is the ratio of EMF induced in short pitch winding and EMF induced in full pitch winding. So coil span factor is related with short pitch winding and full pitch winding. Okay. And the formula of coil span factor Kc is equal to cos alpha by 2. Okay. So up to this point we will stop here.